Greetings, everyone, and welcome back to Kadic. And welcome to another sports game review. The last time we did this, it was on Madden NFL 16, a game that since then has verified its high rating by me as an 8, thanks to a myriad of new features, tuning, and a much needed patch. But now it's time to talk about another sport. A sport that I'm honestly not that much into, basketball. And for the longest time, basketball, much like Madden does with football, was owned by the NBA Live series. But around the year of 2009, a new contender arose. 2K games. In Visual Concepts, the remains of Sega's sports division, started 2K games. And with it, a brand new NBA game emerged that was better than the competition. Fast forward 5 years later, and NBA Live is on its third year of its resurrection after being gone for 3 years, and NBA 2K is now the de facto king of basketball. There is none better, and some would argue not only is it the best basketball game, it's the best sports game every year. And even some would go further to say it's the best yearly installmented game every year. Seeing that every year it upgrades in quality, features, and presentation unlike anything ever seen before. And last year was yet again proof of that. Second year on next gen, it excels beyond notion. Now on its third year, NBA 2K16 does it again. It's almost gotten to the point now with NBA 2K where it's boring to actually do reviews on this game. Not only for me, but it should be boring for most people. I mean, we could go the simplistic route and say, it's good, it's better, buy it now, but as many people that are new to the party or veterans, what's new about 16 that you can't get in 15? Well, a lot actually. NBA 2K16 is also being referred to as a Spike Lee joint. And there's a reason for that. Spike Lee is the executive producer and director of the game. Mainly, it's world famous, often tried but never duplicated My Career Mode. My Career Mode is the hallmark of everything 2K Sports, and it shows once again in NBA 2K16 with a Spike Lee directed documentary known as Living the Dream, based around your created My Player. If you have a previous Connect scan from last year like I did, it will be easily transferable on the Xbox One or on the PlayStation camera. But you can rescan your face if you want to get it more accurate, seeing that last year, for a while, the face scans were nightmarish. Now, unlike last year, it doesn't go straight to the NBA and straight to your first year. No, it actually starts from more humbler beginnings. As a street baller baller having basketball dreams with your best friend, your twin sister, and your mom and dad as the character in the documentary, and your identity throughout the mode, frequency vibrations. Now, of course, your name to your my player still provides for you, but the game will refer to you as Freak throughout the whole juncture. As you go through your last days at playing high school ball, going through college, and for the purpose of the documentary, your first year in the NBA. Meanwhile, trials and tribulations, relations, relations will hit. Relationships and friendships will be tested, and even team loyalty as you go through an up and down turbulent first year. And it plays out perfectly like a Spike Jonze movie documentary would, filled with drama, intrigue, emotional moments, and the raw, almost street filled conversations between Spike Lee and the fictional characters that are well acted, by the way, by a talented group of actors. I give high points to the actor who played your agent in the mode, Dom Pignotti. His charismatic, energetic, and almost infectious performance is the stalwart of this setup. But credit goes to the entire cast on this video game documentary. The only negativity of it is because it's a documentary movie. Here comes the drawbacks. It's way too linear. Choices are presented to you in the narrative, but because you have a movie to play out, you have no control over the narrative. Clear decisions that could influence the documentary's ending or your control over your character's situation are not given to you. Yet, yes, you can influence your college decision. You can influence what high school you play. Hell, through your high school and college games, you can influence where you're drafted. But when it comes down to story mode decisions, like who you hang out with, or what happens to key characters in your fictional character's life, those are out of your control. And it's sad. The high school and college experiences at the beginning of living the dream are breathtaking, taking and almost awe-inspiring with the accuracy to high school, and somewhat the college sports, although not exact. These modes almost feel too short, seeing that during the Living the Dream sections, you are given a limited amount of games to play, and you must play them. You have no influence on what you do outside of improving your character and moving around your brand new customizable My Court. Using your VC, you can customize a court all your own for your friends and yourself to play with, or for you to do shoot arounds on. Or it can act as an access hub to your My Career choices and even to the returning 2K TV, which has more interactivity than last year where earning bonuses and knowing your trivia as easy as watching the weekly show and paying attention. But this My Court stretches to a brand new mode as well, the 2K Pro-Am, the reboot and replacement to the famous crew mode. There, you can get 4 of your best friends or 4 new friends and make a crew built with your own court, uniforms, and team name, and take on the world in true 5-on-5 basketball notion. This adds a level of creative depth that can only be found oddly in the WWE games. Although, for me as a reviewer, this is an unnecessary add-on. Although neat and creative, and especially with a community creations like site added on, you'll see plenty of creativity between courts, teams, and you're sure to see a few licensed brands being exploited by the fandoms as usual. I'm looking for a My Little Pony court design, by the way, as soon as this review is over, mind you. But there are some designs that you can buy with your VC. And of course, you can outfit your My Player with custom shoes, street clothes, and the like. And yes, even the bling. My Park is back, and it's relatively unchanged. Although the courts themselves may have changed locations, the idea and the way that the games work have not. Got next circles and waiting for games are still primary. Make it take it rules are the street ball standard here. But thankfully, the servers and connections for online play are, at last, significantly better than years prior, which is a plus. In fact, the game endorses a no-wait policy. And by and large, it's not exactly there yet, but give it a patch or two and it might just be there. But leave it to 2K to have glitches and mistakes in the game as well. Like the shot meter not responding on free throws or being overly sensitive might throw off your shot a little bit. And there are some glitches with the My Career cutscenes and in-game transitions between commentary points. Although the commentary, as usual, is on point, as the TNT team of Kevin Harlan and the rest of the crew, adding now Kenny the Jet Stavar and to the pre and now post game shows, but also adding a new third man, seeing that typical 2K commentator Steve Kerr is now the world champion coach of the Warriors. Greg Anthony is a fine addition to the commentary team, although it's a little bit dry on delivery. Its facts and figures are a natural fit, but naturally Steve Kerr's natural energy will, of course, be missed in the booth. As for the game itself and how it plays, not much has changed since 2K15, but with some new exceptions. New passing options using the circle or B or Y or triangle buttons. You have options to new passes, as well as the X button as well. These give you more flashy passing options that you can use to open up the floor. But unfortunately, that means your typical post button and your screen buttons have been changed. This control alteration can be alarming and disarming at first, but once you learn it, it will be business as usual. But sadly, the new passing controls don't really have a place outside of function and maybe throwing up some alley-oop flash. They don't really serve an overall purpose. Just a normal pass still will just do just fine. So the new additions of that control scheme go largely underwhelmed. The new signature step-ups in the new defensive pressure, meaning you'll actually see through your cursor hood how much defensive pressure you're applying to a player when on defense, and the fact that steals actually work in this game are nice brand new features. But of course, 2K's natural persistence of shot clock cheese and some of the finer 2K missteps still persist. As for the MyGM mode, team relocation and taking coaches from other teams have been added to the MyGM arsenal, adding a level of depth that wasn't there in the previous year. But practically the mode remains unchanged. My team also remains unchanged, with new challenges such as the gauntlet being added for more additional gameplay options. But largely it remains untouched. My league, though, has gotten a vast upgrade of sorts, but is still not to the level of EA's online franchise offerings with freedom to have limited amounts of players and AI to face. You still need a list of 32 to really enjoy the league, and that's a downplay. Getting into an online game, however, is easier due to the brand new Play Now Online. It will send you instantly into a match-made match. And there's also rankings that you can earn an additional VC by playing consistently ranked. It's kind of like playing Ultimate Team seasons in a way, just with standard teams. And as you move up the ranks, you'll earn the ability to use more and more historic teams, which is an added incentive to longtime online dominators. And there are plenty of historic teams to be had too, for the basketball enthusiast. But my career is still the stalwart mode. Making connections, getting endorsements are now easier than ever, and upgrading your player can be done either through VC or through taking on live practice with your actual team, although it will take time. As for that vaunted 2K soundtrack, it's bigger than ever. DJ Premier DJ Kadic lead the soundtrack this year with a third partner to boot, and the track list is heavy with tracks like All I Do Is Win, Bugatti, Cult of Personality, Blitzkrieg Pop, and more. The soundtrack soundtrack is bigger than any sports game has ever had for a soundtrack, and the beats are well appreciated. For veterans of the 2K series, this will be business as usual. There will be some things to get adjusted to, but if you've been getting off the 2K NBA bandwagon for a couple years because you feel there's nothing new to bring you back, there's a lot of new to bring you back. Sure, Spike Lee might be a Knicks fan and he might be used to being a perpetual loser, but Mr. Lee, I can tell you without a doubt that NBA 2K16, unlike your Knicks, is a championship winner. By far. Yes, it's not perfect, as all sports games are, and glitches need to be hammered out. But the basic idea has been executed. And on note, during the first year of my career, the Living the Dream documentary, there have been noticeable spots of server drops. And when I say server drops, I mean out of the game completely. In order to play my career, however, you need a stable online connection to maintain your VC. Although this drop can also cause you to drop out of your online service as well. And sadly, this can happen mid-game. So my suggestion is save often, save accordingly. If you're an NBA fan, you will love this game. If you are a fan of the NBA on TNT, all you have to wait for is a new episode of The Last Ship or Law and Order. You'll love it too. If you're a fan of NBA 2K, this is another year of your uncontested dominance. Perhaps later I'll give you a review on NBA Live once I have more time to give you a compare and contrast. But for right now, NBA 2K16 is still the king, even when it missteps. This game freaks and vibes all the way to a perfect 10 out of 10. Until next time, find peace in your own nirvana. And thanks for watching.